So the finalists checking in. Poi Nike will be in red. Benoit will be in white. Mo will be in the blue. And Tucker will be in the light blue, or the green that we're calling here today. Once again, mahalo to Hawaiian Water Patrol for handling the water safety duties here at the Turtle Bay Women's Pro and the Nakamakai Youth Challenge. Feels like a little bit of a wind shift. Feel it coming a little bit more in our face now from the northwest. So that's a little bit interesting. Yeah, feels like it. My hair's being blown this way now. I have a very sensitive scalp. I can detect danger with the tips of my hairs.
Right, instead of licking your finger and putting it up in the wind, Rocky just
I
put his
just
head
stick my
up.
head up in the clouds.
I love talking with you, Rocky. You're so fun, brah.
We do have a good time, Zane. Nice to have you up here, too. Good to have one of our competitors that has got experience in these conditions and in this style of competition. Of course, I love stand-up paddling. I do a lot of it lately with my dog on board, but have never actually entered into a stand-up competition. But, man, it is so fun to jump on a board, catch some waves. You can surf almost any size. And then when the waves go flat here on the North Shore, I love just paddling downwind, parking my truck. From here I go down to Waimea or something and just park the vehicle down there, get a few friends, and head on down the coast with the trade winds. It's such a versatile sport, and I can see why it's so popular.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. You have no excuse not to get out in the water. I mean, I understand you don't want to go shortboarding if it's knee-high, but there's no excuses now. It's like just so versatile, so fun, any conditions. I like just going out and cruising, like you said, with the dog, even when it's flat, just sitting down on the board when it's mellow and just chilling.
We've got the Kaneohe sandbar over here that I've paddled out to with my girlfriend, and she loves it too because it's it's a very friendly sport for even people that don't have extensive ocean experience. If you go with somebody who's experienced, you can have the time of your life. And we paddle out to the Mokuluas, different islands off the coast here on the east side of Oahu. So it really, enables you to expand your adventures.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And speaking of adventures, we got little Vanina Walsh, world traveler at like 15 years old, 16. I forget. I think she's 15. But she has been ripping lately on her new Starboard Pro models.
She's got a Zane Schweitzer model, I heard her say.
Yes, she does.
All right. So we see white here up and riding. This is Nicole Pacelli. She's been performing well all day long and looking for a advancement into the final. Nicole not done yet. She's got one more little section to work with and just kind of riding that one out and finishing very clean. Nicole Pacelli in white. What's the time, Christian? Time remaining 12 minutes and 50 seconds. 12:50 on the clock here for semifinal number 2. So in the last semifinal, it was fourth place, kind of a shocker for Haley Harrison. Third place, Aline Arisaka. In second place, Hannah Fenton. Winning that heat, Candace Appleby. So Candace and Hannah moving on to the final.
Cool. Hey, Christian. Hey, you guys, we're going to try something fun. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I know there's a lot of people out there watching, and thank you very much for being involved and keeping in tune with what's going on with the Waterman League. We're going to be accepting a guest call. So
We're gonna
you
have
guys
somebody.
have my number. Oh, look at that.
Somebody's
We
calling
got
in
it
already.
right now. So I don't know who this is.
Answer it.
See if this works. Hello?
What's going on? It's Fuzzy.
Yeah, Kolaya.
We
What's
can
up?
hear you.
We got Kolaya Jardine online, you guys.
Fuzzy Wuzzy.
How's it going? It's Fuzzy.
Yeah, bro. So what? You gonna do the sunset event, bro?
I'm gonna try and limp over there because I got two broken legs.
Oh.
Two broken legs, so I gotta limp to the contest, but I'll still do it.
Yeah, bro. All right. Well, heal up, bro. You're gonna come film or something then. Go body surf. Give you 10s in the shore break.
No, does it count if you stand up on your knees?
Oh, there. Oh, it's a new rule. New rule with the stand-up tour. You gotta be standing. You gotta come with your crutches out, bro. You're doing one stand-up crutch barrel.
Well, I'm stoked. Your crutches out. Yeah, I'm stoked that they got the women involved. Now we can crown a women stand-up paddle world champion. So it's pretty stoked to have them. You know, the sport's growing. I'm super stoked to be a part of the sport, and I look forward to seeing you guys at the sunset.
Right on, Kolai. You the man. Thank you so much for calling and putting in your word on the sport and the women.
Thank you so much for calling and putting in your word on the sport and.
Oh, that's me. That's an echo.
That's the delay. That's the feed that's going across the across cyberspace,
Have a good one.
and we could actually hear you on the feed that he's watching. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
So we know that we're transmitting out there, and thank you guys for tuning in on StandUpWorldTour.com. We just did a guest phone call. That was pretty cool.
Oh, I've been getting texts from Virginia, from Brazil, from Guadalupe,
Yeah.
California. So there's people watching all over the place. Thank you very much to everyone who's behind your computer, you know, tagging along and watching the event. And
We wish you could be here.
yeah, we wish you could, but thank you for being here in spirit.
Oh, yeah. What a beautiful thing technology is when we get to share our ocean sports with everybody across the globe. And what a great event we have here. We're winding down to the final heats of the day. We've got the finals for the boys already set and ready to paddle out. 8 minutes and 30 seconds, 8:30 remaining here in semi number 2 of the women's paddling. This is red Mariko Strickland. And Mariko, bottom turn around that section, and now trying to stay with the powerful part of the wave, weaving down the line, up and down that wave, and gets upended by that final section. But Mariko getting on the board with a decent score, the surfer in red.
Yes.
So our finals will be 25 minutes in length.
I'm going to have to share this story with everyone. That's crazy, Mom.
25-minute for the final.
All right, I love you, Mom. Bye.
And
All right, I love you. Bye.
our first final will be on deck. It is the Nakamakai Juniors final. And Zane, like me, getting a phone call from Mom. And what did Mom have to say?
Well, first thing he had to say, Rocky, was that she always loves hearing you behind the mic, and that she loves your energy. And she shared with me a little story that I thought I wanted to share with you guys on the subject of having stand-up paddle. It's such a versatile sport.
Yep.
So she paddles out at Laniapoko Beach Park, our home break, just in front of our house in Maui. And there was no waves. She was just paddling out to get a workout with Rob and Judy Vivian, the Stand Up for the Cure ambassadors.
Okay.
And they paddle out, just paddling around, and a bunch of whales started breaching just outside of them.
Wow.
And they sat on their board, and they, sure enough, a baby whale from the pod swam right up to them and followed them 30 feet behind my mom said 20 feet behind the board, but I'm going to call 30.
Mom exaggerates a little bit, that's why.
But she said that she got followed by this baby whale for 90 minutes.
Wow.
She said it was the most amazing experience of her life. And she was there with Rob and Judy Vivian, the Stand Up for the Cure ambassadors and founders. If you haven't heard of that event, it's a breast cancer awareness event that we do at Newport Dunes every year, May 5th this year. So if you're around California, you want to see some stand-up paddling and be a part of the Guinness Book World's largest stand-up paddle lesson, be a part of my my team's stand-up paddle lesson where we're going to teach a lot of people and hopefully break our old record of 430 people.
Wow, that's May 5th coming up this Cinco de Mayo. So if you're going to be in California, anywhere around the Newport area, definitely check that out. And what a cool story of being able to paddle with some incredible creatures such as humpback whales. And where you guys live on Maui, I mean, it is a whale sanctuary over there. So
it's like the highway for whales.
You get a lot of close encounters, and that sounds like a very close encounter that your mom and
and
her
on the
friends
whale
had.
topic, we got whales spouting on the outside on the horizon. They're everywhere out here. It's their time of the year. But yes, that is an amazing experience. I've personally windsurfed close to whales, and they are just massive animals.
4 minutes and 30 seconds. Here's White. This is Nicole Pacelli. A nice mid-face cutback. Good use of the paddle on that one right there. And gets another little cutback in there. So just about less than 4 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. All right, so just under 4 minutes. Had a visit from Kanaka Solutions. Merakimo stopping by for say aloha. As we see our surfers in this heat, vying for position, competing for 2 coveted slots in our final. Two minutes, 40 seconds, 2:40. Here in heat number 2, the semifinals. Coming up next, our boys, our juniors final. That will be 25 minutes. Just about 2 minutes, and Vanina Walsh with a late whitewater takeoff gets around the corner, finds some open face for a nice little turn there. Whizzes right by Kanani Yakman. Up and riding in red out the back, that's Mariko Strickland. So Vanina and Mariko. Pretty nice wave selection as Vanina goes into the glare. And up and riding still is Mariko, looking for a little reform section. And she keeps the board moving. Nice little cutback there for her final few maneuvers. 1 minute, 25 seconds. 1:20 remaining. 1:20. And it looks like Vanina and Mariko going to finish their heat on a good note. We'll see if that helps propel them into the final. We are on standby for the end of the heat, and then we'll get you the results. But our competitors in the water right now, Nicole Pacelli and Kanani Yakman, have just a few seconds, 44 seconds to be exact. Here goes Nicole Pacelli up and riding. Big late drop there. And looking for her first maneuver. There's a nice little cut back there. And out the back, it is green, Kanani Yakman. So a late charge from all of our surfers with 23 seconds. And here we go, counting down 15 seconds. And this semifinal number 2 going to wrap up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go, counting down to start the juniors final. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so this 25-minute final features Poinaiki Rioja in red, Benoit Carpentier in white, Mo Freitas in the blue, and Tucker Ingalls in the green. Here we go. This is green up and riding. That's Tucker Ingalls drawing first blood here in the juniors final. This is the Nakamakai Youth Challenge. All right, so that was a red. That was Poinaiki Rioja. And right now, just a little shower coming down. Time for the jacket to go back on.
White up and riding. This is Benoit Carpentier from France. Trying to make the most out of this little wave as it kind of bogs out into the channel.
All right, so in this 25-minute final, we've got 4 of our outstanding competitors, all regular foot competitors. So Shows you where the advantage might have been for some of these guys that have been able to perform on their front side or their forehand. And here we go, up and riding on the outside blue. This is Mo Freitas. Mo had a perfect 10 score in semifinal number 2, trying to carry that momentum into the final. You like that one, huh, Dad?
That's another one to
Mr.
add
Freitas.
to the Rocky Bowinkle edition of Dr. Seuss. Coming out soon.
Mo carrying the momentum into the final.
Epic. Almost, on those sets that the last two had, that the sets almost fade off a little bit. I'm almost thinking from watching all day that almost the medium, the smaller ones are more of an open, rippable face.
Yeah, those inside ones provide the nice little, kind of like more of a proper wave, how it would line up down the line and give you a steep section. Some of the bigger ones taper off into the channel a little bit too much. And if you're too deep, those bigger ones will close out on you.
Yeah.
So really tricky, and Mo doing a good job figuring out where the best place is to sit and then taking advantage and capitalizing.
Hey, I think you're right. The wind is clocking around. Look, now we get rain coming into the tent from the front. Little bit of a up and down for red as the other competitors make their way out into the lineup.
So, what's the time on the clock right there?
So
20 minutes.
cold.
There's 25 after the final. 20 minutes remaining in this final right here. So we're going to call our girls to check in for the final. And Candace Appleby, Hannah Fenton, please check in. Who else made it?
Candace. Oh, you said Candace?
Also, Nicole Pacelli, check in, and Vanina Walsh. So our final is set. Candace, Hannah, Nicole, and Vanina, please check in for your final and head out. We're going to start you in about 18 minutes.
I have an epic photo opportunity right here. Nike on a mean one on the outside, wrapping around his turns with his paddle behind him. This one's going to reform good, it looks like, if he moves back towards the point.
That's Kuipo right there.
Boom. Oh, this one's going to have a nice little inside section as well.
Oh, Poi Nike. Putting some
Boom.
poi into his Nike shoes.
And behind him was Tucker Ingles in the light blue-green-ish color.
Yep, that was Tucker, who's on the board with a score. And on the outside, it is White. That looks like Benoit Carpentier, but not able to get into that one as Mo Freitas strokes across the lineup, looking for something that will develop for him. So all of our girls finalists are checked in. Tamaroa Kalama in the house. His dad will be competing at the Sunset Beach Pro for the Stand Up World Tour, Ikaika Kalama. And one of the pioneers of stand-up paddle surfing at Pipeline over the last few years. Here is Blue, Mo Freitas. Little swooping roundhouse cutback. Nice job with the paddles, switching sides. And he's going to wait for this one to redevelop on the inside. And looking to waste no part of the wave. Little bunny hop chop hop there for Mo Freitas.
Yeah. Well, are you hanging out?
16 minutes and 30 seconds. 16:30 on the clock here for our Nakamakai Youth Challenge Final. These are the best stand-up paddleboarders under the age of 16 or 16 and under. And some of these guys will be competing with the men out at Sunset Beach, and there are some big swells in the forecast. So these guys will be testing their mettle and having a great opportunity to perform with the best stand-up paddle surfers in the world at Sunset Beach coming up pretty soon here in the next few days. Tomorrow we're not going to have competition, but we will be checking out the conditions from Friday and going forward. 3 days of competition at Sunset Beach on tap for the Stand-Up World Tour Men's Edition here in event number 1 of 2013. Justin Cote in the house. Mahalo for a great event over at the Volcom Pipe Pro, representing Transworld Magazine. Doing the extended work and play vacation, huh? Still working. I'll change that. Always working. AW, baby. Always working. 14 minutes and 13 seconds. Just about 14 minutes on the clock here for the final. So the wind's swirling around a little bit now, switching back to our east-northeast trade winds. As we saw a ride briefly out the back, I believe that was Poinaiki in red. Oh, this is Poinaiki in red, excuse me. On the previous wave, that was white. This is red on a nice-looking wave, carving off the top. And with that board looking very Kaileni-ish on the top turn right there. The young Tahitian carving the snot out of this wave. Oh, my goodness. Just excellent paddle work, very fluid. Speed, power, and flow displayed on that wave right there for Poinaiki. And floats over that final section and has another nice wave under his belt in this final. Yeah, we have. Here we go. This is Mo Freitas on a nice looking wave. Just has to wait for it to develop, and not sure if it's going to. There it is. It's reforming on the inside now. Out the back, up and riding in white. That is Benoit Carpentier as Mo finishes on the inside. Carpentier staying busy on the outside. And Mo with a nice section lip launch right there for Blue Mo Freitas. And then on the outside, it is light blue as we see Benoit with a section to work with. He goes up and over and completes. So Benoit and Mo Freitas and Tucker Ingalls all exchanging back-to-back-to-back waves here in this final with time remaining 10 minutes and 20 seconds. So we are winding down this Nakamakai Youth Challenge final heat with the boys going off right now.
Bro, they're ripping. It's going to be a tight call. In these situations, it's hard to judge, and I wouldn't want to be the one doing it. It seems like it's going to be a tight one for sure.
Yeah, that last exchange between Mo and also Benoit and Tucker really throwing it all into the mix here. And with that previous wave of Point Nike, too, that was a gnarly shredded wave. Great wave selection on that one. Had the outside maneuvers and comboed it with the inside maneuvers. Maybe only thing I could say about Mo and Benoit, I'm not sure if they got any turns on the outside, but they definitely finished strong on the inside. So that was a great exchange by all four surfers.
Yeah, for sure. That wave Point Nike had went from deep. I wonder if you guys could even see where he took off from. But how about the one that he kind of pulled in? You see that one? Was in the last
was the
deep?
previous semifinal.
Yeah, that was a little nugget. I knew someone was gonna squeak in the one by the end of the day.
Well, that's the thing here at Kuilima Point is that there's a lot of marginal waves, but there are those gems that sweep all the way across and allow you to have that open face canvas from outside to inside, kind of a proper point break angle, and it's really tricky to find those.
And there you go. We have a little instant replay for you.
So what you're watching on the screen there is the wave of Poi Nike, as he did a great job there, switching sides with the paddle. Really, you see him how he crosses it over into the cutback and then switches it back on the rebound off the whitewater. So a good display of the usage of the paddle, as we see Tucker Ingalls from Santa Barbara, California, competing here on the North Shore. And a good tracking camera job right there from Larry Haynes and Hawaiian Water Patrol, getting a beautiful water angle for our post-production crew. We'll be compiling the highlights from the land shots and the water shots to display on standupworldtour.com. And Tucker finishes on the inside very nicely. Meanwhile, on the outside, our athletes are going deep on the point. What's the time, Christian? 7 minutes and 35 seconds.
We might have a really cool sunset over here for the Hang 10 bar tonight.
Ooh, yeah. It'll be going down. Last night, we had an incredible sunset. We saw the green flash, everything.
Oh, I seen that too.
The
Where
horizon
were you?
I was right here.
I was sick. I was at sunset, and I was watching it with Kala Alexander, and we're like, oh, you see that? And it was fully green flash.
Yeah, it was a perfectly clear horizon and a big orange sun just setting beautifully. I was here for our Aloha Welcome Night that we have every Tuesday here at Turtle Bay at the Hang 10 Surf Bar. And, yeah, everybody was super stoked. There was a round of applause from everybody watching here yesterday when the sun went down. As we see Mo Freitas on the outside screaming down the line, gets a nice top turn, throwing the tail, unfortunately. Gets a little too steep right there, catches the nose and goes down, but what a great effort from Mo. And, in the final, you got to throw it all on the line, and Mo displaying a great deal of effort there. Unfortunately, couldn't hang on.
Yeah, there's some speed and power put into that turn. Just barely caught his toe side rail on the coming back down, but yeah, oh my gosh, that was powerful and fast. That's what we want to see.
Instead of the speed, power, and flow, it was a speed, power, and mo that he had going on there.
How much time do we have remaining?
All right, we're at the 5-minute, 55-second mark, so just about 5 minutes, little over 5 minutes to go here in this final. And I got to say, it's probably pretty close because everybody getting at least one good wave. It's going to come down to that backup wave.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering how much time. So with 5 minutes, these guys definitely still have some time to, pull some more tricks out of their bag and catch a set. So I bet you these guys who know they're in first and second, who think they're doing good, are probably going to be a little bit on defense mode, just hanging around, waiting for a good wave, and maybe even making sure the competitors aren't catching the good ones.
And the athletes are pushing each other deep on the point out there as we see Red up and riding. This is Poinike slashing a turn, changing directions beautifully. And this kid has got an unbelievable wave knowledge, picking off yet another nice one from the outside all the way through. Not too much of a combination of maneuvers or variety, but still very aggressive attack. And his turns are pretty on point as he goes through that inside section, sliding the tail around. Can he complete the 360? Almost. But that will be incomplete.
Impressive.
But he scores one from the outside. But like we said, not too much of a variety of turns, but definitely something that could be function as a backup score.
Definitely, and I think variety is very important in what the judges look for sure. They don't want to see the same turn over and over again. There's a lot of different things that we could pull with, especially at the stand-up board, so always good to mix it up.
Sometimes the waves don't provide, the different opportunities for the variations, and you got to get creative sometimes.
Yeah.
But definitely you want to try to make the wave all the way through, and Poinike did a good job
And that's Mo on the
working it all the way
outside.
through.
This is a good section.
Whack!
Boom. That was a speed turn. Came out of it with a lot of speed. Oof.
Maybe could have held up, I think, his momentum from that first turn, and his anxiety and his excitement was flowing. His adrenaline was going 100 miles an hour, and went into that second turn thinking it was going to be another big section. But like we've been talking about, this wave at Turtle Bay is so hard to read that when he came down from that first turn, wanted to go right back at it, but then got hung up on the second one and score the first turn, though. That was an incredible first turn.
Oh, yeah.
3 minutes remaining. 3 minutes.
Dude, my bladder is tiny. I swear, I've had like all day.
Having out here afterwards?
I would like to.
Did your board make it here?
It's still in the workshop, but I have another one to surf on. But I'm thinking I'm probably just going to shoot it down there if the traffic's okay.
Yeah.
You think I should wait till tonight or what?
.220 remaining, 220 in this final. So it is dwindling down to the wire as all of our surfers getting some pretty great rides, throwing down some gnarly maneuvers. And like we've said in the past, it's the quality of the maneuvers, not necessarily how much turns you do, but it's definitely a lot of the criteria is based on the quality of the maneuvers. So there's a good comparison for you there, all of you curious about how the scores get thrown down. We saw Poinike doing a lot of the same turns on a wave, and we saw Mo Freitas throwing up a critical turn, just a one maneuver wave, but still able to get the board above the lip on that critical section. 1 minute and 25 seconds. And we've got another set out the back, so we're going to have another exchange before this one is over, and it should be quite interesting to see who is in position, who can capitalize on the waves that they catch, and ultimately who picks the right wave. One minute. Here we go. White on the outside. This is Benoit Carpentier. He's been doing very well today. Tries to carve a reversal on that one and not able to do so. On the outside, it's Tucker Ingalls. And Tucker not able to get much happening on that wave. A little bit too deep. 35 seconds. That leaves Mo and Poi Nike. But on the inside, look at this. Spinning around in white. Oh, and catching the nose right there. Benoit Carpentier. Possibly a little bit of a fatigue factor, as this is their fourth heat that they've surfed today. 13 seconds. Watch the countdown. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So no ride for Blue. He is up and riding. Red had a quick up and down. So the judges getting their scores locked in. And here's Poi Nike after the heat, just showing you what he can do. The surfer in the red jersey. Look at this nice wave reform. Standing by to start the women's final. Judges ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that was an exciting heat for the Nakamakai Junior Division.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of big moves being thrown down, and it was really cool to watch that. I'm sure all the spectators on the beach and up in their rooms were having a fun time watching throughout the day as well.
And our spectators on standupworldtour.com as well.
Oh, yeah. Thank you,
very
guys.
Exciting final. Here's our first ride for our women's final. That is red, Candace Appleby.
And on the outside, we have, is this Vanina Walsh in green. A recent new team member to the Starboard International team. And she is loving her new boards. Looking
The
like
Zane
she's
Schweitzer
trying to
model.
make it. Yeah, looks like she's going to make it into the reform section. Very important out here. You know, the wave changes a lot. And you got to stay in that the power zone of the wave.
Yeah, you do have to be very savvy at feeling the wave, not only with your body and your feet, but you got to look ahead at the next section and try to decide if you're going to speed race it down the line or if you're going to step back and hold and wait for the reform. This wave can throw every type of situation at you. We saw barrels. We saw big crashing lips. We've seen dying shoulders. We've seen down the line speed. And all in between, as we see Candace Appleby deciding to kick out on that middle section right there. Possibly could have got some scoring there.
Yeah, no, that wasn't too bad of a wave. But yeah, like you said, it's amazing how much different waves we've seen all day.
At this one spot right here.
Yeah.
At the foot of Turtle Bay Resort, one of the most unique resorts in the world, and definitely the most unique on Oahu. We have some of the best waves of any hotel right around our little area here. I mean, you can get to 5 different peaks by just paddling right from the hotel on the west end of the hotel and on the east end.
Yeah, I mean, I've scored unreal waves on each side. And
Yep.
I heard there's even more waves, too, if you keep going down. So
Yep, you can go down this way, even out in front of the point over there, and then you can come back this way beyond Baggers towards the east end of the resort. There are a lot of waves to be had. Different wind conditions determine which breaks are going to be doing better on certain days, but definitely a variety and some wave quality here at Turtle Bay Resort, as we see our surfer in red kind of bailing off her board right there. And on your screen, up and riding right now, I believe this is white. That is Hannah Fenton. She found her way into the final after a rigorous semifinal and quarterfinal. She is now surfing her way into the final and did a great job all day long. Hats off and big respect to all of these girls competing in these conditions.
Yeah, Hannah's been surfing great all day, but it really is cool to see how the girls are really getting comfortable with the wave. You know, in the beginning of the day, you know, they were barely making it out, and towards the repechage and the semi, the quarters, they had this wave down. It seems like, and it's kind of more, it's just Turtle Bay. You know, you have to sit and watch this wave and be out there and feel the currents. You know, get comfortable with it.
Well, and this is a historic moment, Zane. This is the first women's stand-up world tour final of 2013 and of the stand-up world tour. So big props to the Waterman League and the stand-up world tour and all of our great sponsors for making this women's world tour possible. And we're kicking it off with some great surf here at Turtle Bay. And this is the first women's final of the stand-up world tour. So congratulations.
Wow. That is exciting. We are witnessing it. History in the making. We're going to have a women's world champion. So, out in the water right now in red, we have Candace Appleby. In white, we have Hannah Fenton. And in light blue-green, we have Vanina Walsh.
So the results have come in for that final, and we're going to have an award ceremony at Surf of the Bar later tonight. But the online viewers, if you would like to know what the placings were for the juniors final, as we're watching Candace Appleby keeping that board moving through the inside. All of you here on the beach, if you want to wait for the results tonight, close your ears right now. In fourth place was Tucker Ingalls from Santa Barbara. Great job. Third place, all the way from France, Benoit Carpentier. Second place, all the way from down the street in Haleiwa, Mo Freitas. And in first place, Poinaki Rioja. So great job to all the finalists. You get your official award tonight at Surf of the Bar. But awesome job, you guys. Great display of the youth. And what's next and the future of stand-up paddle surfing is right there in that final.
Oh, yeah. You know what? The future lies within the children's hands. And I tell you what, by the time they are older, this sport is going to be the biggest sport in the world. It's going to be in the Olympics. We have Red, Candace Appleby, finalist of the first Women's World Championships.
Well, you know, I was watching the Olympics the last summer, and they had a man-made rapids course for the kayak, the single kayak. So it's not impossible to imagine that stand-up paddling could function in that same arena and be in the Olympics. So
if you think
stand-up
about
paddle
it,
racing.
They have all the arenas we need. I mean, for the rowing, for the kayak racing, for the sprints.
Yep.
I mean, heck, you could probably do it in the Olympic pool.
Yep. So stand-up paddle racing is on the verge of Olympic quality, and it's going to be exciting when it finally does happen.
And there's Hannah Fenton in white on the outside, trying to milk into this reef form. Opts the kick out as it's coming really close to the reef. And Vanina showing us how to do a bail on a overhead whitewash rolling at you. Donuts.
Zane, you know who's calling? The hot tub.
Oh, no, that's a no-no. You gotta be a Grom. Oh, maybe there's an exception for MCs too.
You know, I security winked at me, earlier. We said, "Oh, you guys can go to competitors," and in parentheses it said, "and MCs can enter the hot tub to keep your voice warm." On the outside,
up and down, we had Vanina.
A quick up and down for Vanina Walsh.
Thank you very much to everyone who's picking up trash that you see flying around. We really appreciate your kukua and keeping our ocean clean. Just do be well aware that any trash you leave here on the beach at Turtle Bay, I know they probably have
as a great example blows off of our table and we are able to retrieve it before it enters the ocean. And Zane Schweitzer, congratulations. That was a cat-like reflexes you have there.
Well, as I was saying, I know Turtle Bay probably has someone to come around and pick up the trash, but you leave it there for 2 minutes and it's going to be blowing into the ocean. So be responsible of your own trash.
We could use your help.
Yes.
The ocean could use your help as well, as we see red bailing off. Green gets it. Vanina Walsh having trouble with the takeoff there, and she goes down.
Man, the waves are tricky out there, Rocky. Huh? It's like I give all these people my hats off and big props. For sure. Oh, we're winding down, yeah?
What's the time, Christian? 2 minutes? 16 minutes. Sweet 16 minutes remaining on our clock here for the Turtle Bay Women's Pro Stand-Up World Tour Final. The first ever, history in the making today, as we are kicking off the 2013 Stand-Up World Tour with our women's division. Last year it was just guys. We've got enough sponsorship and enough support to have a women's world tour. And here's Candace Appleby trying to be number one so far, and she's got some work to do, and she is working it right now. Weaving back and forth with some nice turns, and then using that paddle to gain momentum. She jumps off right there for positioning so she can get back out more quickly.
And then on the outside, on a nice little reform, it looks like. This is, I believe, Nicole Pacelli from Brazil.
She's been doing good all day.
Yeah, she has a really smooth, progressive style, and definitely, you know, in the program and in the range and talent. She has the talent to be women world champion. We're just gonna have to see how she plays it this next 15 minutes.
So Rocky Cannon and Zane Schweitzer here, sitting with you at the Turtle Bay Resort for the first ever Stand-Up World Tour Women's Final for 2013. Our first event here at Turtle Bay, the Turtle Bay Women's Pro. And we've had pretty testy conditions all day, very contestable, very competitive. But it's come down to wave selection, I think. And if you pick the right wave here at Turtle Bay, you'll be very successful. If you pick the wrong one, it's going to be some time wasted.
Yeah, definitely. And you could see from the athletes who are benefiting from that technique right there. I mean, Pohanaiki, for example, who just won the Nakamakai event, he had really, really good wave selection. He knew where he wanted to sit, and he was picking off the waves that he needed, you know, the ones that are kind of running down the point and have a nice open face to the whole thing.
Yeah, it takes the precise, perfect wave to come in at the right angle for this point break to function like a proper point break. And most of the waves kind of break off in pieces, but it's those select ones that Pohanaiki was able to find that actually run along like a perfect right point break.
Oh, yeah. So in position, we have green, Vanina Walsh on the outside, and on the inside, we have Candace Appleby in red.
And interesting strategy there. She takes off on the inside and gets a nice top turn as that wave fades off into the deeper water. But getting a couple turns in and getting a score is Candace Appleby, a very savvy competitor in the red jersey.
Yeah, and she got pushed right into the channel again, so she's going to have no problem getting back out into the lineup. On the outside, we have green, Vanina Walsh. This looks like it could be a really good reform section for her.
She's definitely keeping the board moving, staying very busy. And Hawaiian Water Patrol doing a great job tracking, getting the shots there with Larry Haynes on board.
It's a really nice use of the paddle right there on that roundhouse. She switched on the way to the whitewash and switched again as she hit the whitewash.
That might be where the coach should say, I don't know if you should ride it that far. Because very minimal scoring once you get into the whitewater section. But she's going to milk that one for all it's worth. and head back out for another wave. Time check. We've got 12 minutes. Vanina, 12 minutes. 12 minutes remaining.
Vanina, very proud new member to the Starboard team. It's going to be fun to work with her this year. She is definitely top young talent here in Hawaii, and definitely up there in the top tippity top for the women's.
Yep, and she'll be traveling, competing around the world with this new women's stand-up world tour. So that should be interesting to keep track of as she makes her way back out into the lineup. We will let the competitors know that there is under 11 minutes remaining, and this final is over, halfway done. We've passed the halfway point.
How are you?
And red, Candace Appleby having a look at that wave, and she decides not to go. And on the outside, some bailing going on as Candace goes over that wave, trying to hold her balance. We've got blue, Nicole Pacelli, as well as white, Hannah Fenton out there struggling. Meanwhile, Candace spinning around and just a little bit off angle. Her board digs in a rail and she goes down. I'd like to thank all of our wonderful sponsors here. Turtle Bay Resort, the Waterman League, partnering up to give us a great venue here at Kuilima Point, and also GoPro. Check out the GoPro lab we got downstairs here at Turtle Bay Resort. Brand new GoPro lab. You can link up your Hero 3 and check out your shots from the day. And also mahalo to all of our great sponsors. Starboard, one of them. We've also got, let's see here. We have a list. We've got Amp Energy. These guys right here giving us a lot of energy today, keeping us pepped up and focused. Also, Starboard, Maui Jim Sunglasses, Pacifico Beer, and Malibu Rum. We'll be having a bit of that tonight at Surf of the Bar. And also Dahui, Sheraton, Hawaii, of course, Turtle Bay Resort, accommodating us on site here as usual. And our gold level sponsors, Nash Paddleboards, Starboard Paddleboards, Rogue Paddleboards, Bic Sup, and Fanatic, Puka Patch, Mistral, JP Australia, Colban, Body Glove, and Hilton Alves in Art in Surf. He's designed majority of our posters and logos for us here at the Stand Up World Tour. And also mahalo to Focus SUP and the SUP magazine, which we saw some great shots of your boy Dave navigating in Oregon, and some pretty crazy shots in that SUP magazine.
Yeah, Dan Gavir is also part of the Starboard team and really pushing for the inflatables that can handle and are durable through that kind of conditions. I mean, that shot was mind-boggling.
Well, and you don't want to use your fiberglass boards around those rocks and stuff because you'd be missing some fins, taking some chunks out of your board for sure.
Nice turn from Nicole.
Oh, Nicole nearly pulls it off.
Poking Taco, looking for dinner down there. That was a really good turn. She came into it with great speed and really threw her tail out, putting spray out the back. She's surfing very well.
Yeah, that was just too bad she was not able to keep the nose from poking in the trough of the wave. But sometimes that section here at Turtle Bay, when the tide's going lower, it gets really steep. And with these bigger stand-up boards, it's tough to negotiate.
And this is Hannah Fenton in white, up and riding, milking to that inside section with a nice steep face.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Unfortunately, she can't take advantage of that opportunity. That was one of the better faces that we've seen during this final. And we were hoping she was be able to get some speed and get around to get a top turn in there. But unfortunately, has to just watch that section peel off in front of her and is unable to take advantage. But she'll be heading back out.
I almost thought she was going to score a barrel right there. Really jacked up and through.
There were some opportunities. 7 minutes, 20 seconds. Hannah, 7 minutes, 20 seconds. 7:20.
And how cool is that we have the GoPro little station here at Turtle Bay Resort with the new GoPro 3s. You could go through your Bluetooth and it sends off a signal to the machine. You could check out all your clips on the big screen.
Wow.
It's like unreal.
And just want to remind you that the Waterman League, the event director of the Stand Up World Tour, is based and headquartered here at Turtle Bay Resort all year round. So if you're watching from somewhere across the globe and you're wondering what to do here at Turtle Bay Resort when you arrive, well, the Waterman League, Hans Edelman Surf School, we've got all the equipment you need to get in the water right here at Turtle Bay Resort. So whether it's wintertime and you want to surf some waves, or it's summer and you want to tour down the coast, come on and check us out. We've got a lot of things to show you here on the North Shore at Turtle Bay Resort. And, of course, the Waterman League now headquartered here at Turtle Bay. What a great partnership that is.
That's awesome.
6 minutes remaining on our time clock here for the historical 2013 Turtle Bay Women's Pro Final that is in the water right now, kicking off our 2013 Stand Up World Tour.
Candace picking off a nice one off the point. Let's see
show
what
Candice, guys, not us anymore. We need to see the action. We don't want to look at these two dodos. We want to watch Candice rip this wave.
Yeah. I wasn't even paying attention to the screen. Yeah, that was a good wave for Candice. She had a nice open face in the beginning, had a few good turns, and then finished it off on the inside section.
Yep, nice paddle work as well from Candice Appleby. 5 minutes, 30 seconds. 5:30 remaining. Right now, just a little bit of lull on the outside.
So if you're just coming back to your resort here at Turtle Bay and you are wondering what is going on, this is the Waterman League Women's Pro presented by Turtle Bay. We also have the Nakamakai event that just took off. Oh, Vanina Walsh on the outside and a good one.
On a screamer down the line.
This could provide her with a really nice high scoring.
You see how she works back to the power source because the shoulder of the wave getting deeper on the end there. She needs to ensure that she makes it to the inside section. This is where the scoring takes place.
Yeah.
Right in front of her competitor, Candice Appleby. They've surfed many heats
reform
together.
Again. Woo.
And nice floater over that section right there for
Wow.
Vanina Walsh.
Yeah, Vanina. That was a really well-surfed wave. That's going to be interesting to see what the judges score. You caught it all the way from the outside in the PowerPoint, and yeah, worked through the whole section at good style and smooth surfing.
4 minutes. 4 minutes remaining here in the final.
Back to what I was saying, we're here at the Turtle Bay Women's Pro, where we will be crowning the first Women's World Champion. And also, we had the Nakamakai Junior Division that took off. We finished that, and we'll be having a closing ceremony for that here up at Turtle Bay, and also an opening ceremony for the Sunset Beach Pro.
Yep, so we'll be handing out some awards for the 2012 season, and we'll be kind of doing 2 sets of business here, transition into 2013, wrapping up 2012 and looking ahead to 2013 as we see White up and riding. This is Hannah Fenton on a nice looking wave, big
Whoa.
bottom turn around the section.
And another nice one on the outside with Pacelli, Nicole.
Well, that's Nicole in blue and Hannah finishing in white. And Nicole going around the jet ski. Can she milk it? She does make the section. Nice wall ahead. And a nice turn right there for Nicole Pacelli.
So just a reminder that this is only stop 1 of the Women's World Tour. I think Zane had said we're going to crown a women's champion, but
Let me correct myself there. We will be crowning a women's world champion of this event. There's going to be a series of events for the Women's World Tour this year. And to have a title under your belt of such a pristine event is very exclusive. You know, it's a good thing to have on the resume, and I'm sure all the girls out there, They're fighting for that
Well,
first
and
place.
this being stop number 1, it really gives you momentum propelling into the next event. It's that big boost of confidence. We talked about that a lot at the Vulcan Pipe Pro, the winner of that event, carrying a lot of momentum into the WQS ratings with that number 1 next to their name. For this girl, for these girls right here, having a number 1 next to their name going into the next event is going to be a very, very great confidence builder.
Yes, for sure. And also, Nicole, I want to share with you, we have a no prone paddling rule for more than 30 seconds. So you're going to have to stand up and paddle.
1 minute, 30 seconds, 1:30 on the clock. She's working to get over into that channel on the other side for possibly some more conducive conditions for stand-up paddling.
Well, that's why I think we made this rule, because, you know, if you're not able to paddle your board in rough conditions, then, well, you shouldn't really be able to compete on it. But
So 1 minute.
sometimes it is tough to stand on these small surfboards. You have to.
You see Vanina Walsh, she was heading back out, but she's going to call it a heat. She's coming in. I think Nicole Pacelli is going to do the same as we have 50 seconds on the clock remaining. And Red having a look. She's not going to catch this one. 35 seconds.
Looks like Candace might have a wave to pick off before the horn. There is something creeping her way. Is it going to come in the next 25 seconds?
Need a better vantage point here. I'm going to stand up and take a look out to the lineup. Candace is scrambling for something. 14 seconds. And here she goes on the paddle. And counting down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So Candace on the buzzer picks off a wave, and we'll see if that factors into her top 2. She's still going, catching this reform on the inside. Nice couple of turns there for Candace Appleby, coming back to her left. And the Hawaiian Water Patrol, much mahalo for the great job keeping our competitors safe and getting those epic water shots with Larry Haynes.
Yeah, those boys must be cold. They've been on the water all day since like 9 o'clock. So big mahalos to Hawaiian Water Patrol. Big mahalos to everyone who made this event possible. The Waterman League, the competitors, of course. And all the viewers online to be here on, here in spirit. To be in front of your computer, tagging along with all the action.
Well, on behalf of all of our great sponsors who we named a minute ago, especially the Waterman League and Turtle Bay Resort, among many other of our other sponsors, we thank you for joining us. We're going to have a morning show tomorrow, starting off, but no competition tomorrow. We're going to continue with competition on Friday. So thank you so much for joining us all day here today for this, not only our women's pro final, our historic women's pro final, our Turtle Bay Women's Pro, but our Nakamakai Youth Challenge. They both went off successfully with a bang. The sun is going down. The Pacificos are calling. Zane Schweitzer, it's been such a pleasure doing this with you, brother.
Rocky Mahal is always a pleasure. Always good laugh hanging out with you. And thank you very much for keeping us very in touch and with what's going on.
All right, on behalf of Zane Schweitzer, I'm Rocky Cannon. We'll see you tomorrow morning for the morning show, and then from Friday on, we'll be at Sunset Beach competing for the men's Sunset Beach World Stand-Up World Tour, event number 1, 2013. Mahalo and aloha.
All right. Aloha. See you guys in the morning.